Welcome back to Six Survival Diaries. As you all know, it's Velvet, and this episode will be referred to as She Had Two Live-In Boyfriends. Only one knew about it. Some stories are so unbelievable, you almost hope they're made up. This isn't something that happened to me, and it isn't a viewer submission either. It's a story that was shared with me years ago by a woman I met after moving into a Toronto community housing building. Now, I can't tell you whether every single detail is true. I'm simply telling it the way she told it to me. Whether you believe every word, believe parts of it, or think she was pulling my leg, I'll let you decide. Back in 2007, I just moved into a Toronto community housing building. If you've ever lived in community housing, you already know. Everybody knows everybody. And if they don't know your name, they definitely know your business. That's where I met an older Jamaican woman. She had to be around 55. Funny, loud, always smiling. The kind of person who could tell the wildest story with a straight face while stirring a pot of food. One afternoon, we were outside talking when the conversation drifted toward relationships. Out of nowhere, she smiled and said, "You know, there was a time I had two live-in boyfriends." I laughed. I figured she meant she was dating two men. Messy? Sure. Impossible? Not really. Then she looked me dead in the eye and said, "No, they both lived in my apartment." I actually stopped her. "Hold on. Both of them?" She nodded like she just told me she'd gone grocery shopping. Completely casual, no embarrassment, no shame, just matter of fact. Now remember, she wasn't living in some huge house. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. One front door, 2 bedrooms, 2 grown men. And somehow, it worked. So naturally I asked, how? She laughed and said, the older man was a long-haul truck driver. He paid most of the bills. Rent, utilities, groceries. The only catch? His job kept him away for days at a time. But before coming home, he always called. That phone call became her warning, her countdown clock. The signal that everything had to change before he walked through that front door. Then she told me about the second man. He was younger, worked midnight shifts, spent most weekends at his mother's and grandparents' house. And according to her, that schedule was the only reason any of this worked. Then she hit me with the biggest surprise. The younger one knew. I said, "Wait, he knew about the other man?" "Oh yes," she said. "He knew everything." Apparently, he wasn't in Canada legally at the time and was working cash jobs. He only paid a few $100s toward expenses. Everything he owned fit into 2 suitcases. She insisted it stay that way. If the truck driver called, those bags disappeared in seconds. No dresser, no closet full of clothes, nothing that couldn't vanish immediately. Listening to her explain all this, it sounded less like a relationship and more like someone coordinating flights at Pearson Airport. Every schedule had to line up perfectly. One mistake, and the whole thing would collapse. I asked her, "Weren't you scared?" She laughed. every day. But after a while, you start believing you've got everything figured out. And that's when I realized something. Sometimes people don't get caught because they're lucky. They get caught because they start believing they're untouchable. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. For almost 2 years, the truck driver always called before coming home. Until one day, his truck broke down, and you lost his phone. No phone, no warning, no countdown, nothing. He eventually made it back to the apartment, walked through the front door, and immediately knew something wasn't right. Maybe it was the extra shoes. Maybe it was another voice. Maybe it was something out of place. She never told me exactly what gave it away, only that there was no talking her way out of it. She said he absolutely exploded. Not physically, verbally. And if you've ever heard an angry Jamaican, you already know. He packed up, came back the next day for the rest of his things, and discontent from her life. Almost 2 years, gone in less than 24 hours. Then she surprised me one last time. She said sometime afterward, she found out the truck driver had another family of his own, another woman, 4 children, the entire time. I remember just standing there thinking, everybody in this story had secrets. She told me learning that didn't make her craft. It didn't excuse what she'd done. If accounting, it made her realize how many lives had become tangled together because nobody was honest. In the end, she stayed with the younger man. Eventually, they had a child together. And your first time since she'd started telling me the story, she got quiet. She said her biggest regret wasn't getting caught. It was convincing herself that careful planning could keep the truth hidden forever. To this day, I still don't know if every detail happened exactly the way she described it. Maybe it did. Maybe some parts grew bigger with time. All I know is that's the story she told me, and it's one I've never forgotten. Because one thing life has taught me is that people are rarely just one thing. Good people make terrible decisions. People who have been betrayed sometimes betray others. And sometimes the person pointing the finger is hiding secrets of their own. That doesn't excuse anyone's choices, but it does remind us that life is usually a lot more complicated than it looks from the outside. If you've got a story you'd like to share, you can always send it to the email in the description. Names, details, and identities can always be changed to keep everything completely anonymous. Because sometimes the stories people carry silently are the ones people need to hear the most. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you can stay connected for all future stories with episode 26. A Stranger Walked Up to Me and Knew Who I Was, releasing August 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Real stories, real survival, real people.